The Ogiame Atuwatse III Inter-Collegiate Quiz and Debate Competition.
Welcome back. It's the Ogiame Atuwatse III Inter-Collegiate Quiz and Debate Competition 2025. Sorry for the break. We're here to serve you better. And of course, we still have our schools right here, Okotiebo Grammar School, and of course, Atuwatse II College, still right here in the studio, battling out to stand a chance to get a spot in the next round. I am your quiz master, Nkechi Tejere is my name. And just before the break, we had the first session, and we had Rute Secondary School qualifying to the next round. The first school right about now to qualify to the next round. So let's see amongst the two schools here in the studio who will be transiting to the next round and who will be going home. Remember, is this the knockout stage and the second round of the competition? This quiz competition is brought to you by Atlantic Media and TV and powered by the Olu of Warri through the office of the sole representative of the Olu of Warri and liaison to NNPCL. And Cora Care Foundation is also right here. Rokotech Integrated Services Nigeria Limited is also here as well. A big shout out to Ruth Gender Foundation, who was offered a whopping 2 million naira to the best female contestant. I thought that was a good place to clap. All right, thank you. The energy in the room is still eccentric, and our students are ready to give their best shot. Atuwatse College, are you ready?
Yes, quiz master.
And of course, Okotiebo Grammar School, are you ready as well?
Yes, quiz master.
So we go right from the very top, and starting off would be Atuwatse II College. Your question. Remember, each question earns you 2 points if you answer correctly, and if you can't answer the question correctly, it passes on to the next school for a bonus point of 1 point if you answer correctly. Are we good?
Yes, quiz master.
All right, your first question, Atuwatse II College. Which of the following is not a property of 3-oxynitrate 5 salts? A. Positive reaction to the brown ring test. B. Ability to dissolve in cold water. C. Decomposition on being strongly heated. D. Production of effervescence with saturated Na2CO3 solution. E. Evolution of gas with concentrated H2SO4 and copper turnings. Your time starts now.
B.
B. Ability to dissolve in cold water. I'm sorry, that's wrong. Bonus question to Okotiebo Grammar School. Your time starts now.
C.
C. Decomposition on being strongly heated. And that's also wrong. The correct answer is D. Production of effervescence with saturated Na2CO3 solution. Your next question to Okotiebo Grammar School. The following oxides react with water except A. Na2O, B. SO3, C. NO2, D. CO2, and E. CuO. The time starts now. Have less than 30 seconds.
A.
A, NO2O. And that is wrong. Bonus question 2, Atuwatse II College. Your time starts now.
D.
D, CUO. And that is wrong. The answer is E. The correct answer is E. All right, next question to Atuwatse II College. If x plus 3 varies directly as y and x equals 3 when y equals 12, what is the value of x when y equals 8? A, 1, B, half, C, minus half, D, minus 1. Time starts now.
B.
B, half. And that is wrong. Bonus question to Okotiebo Grammar School.
A.
A, 1. And that is correct. Next question, the Okotiebo Grammar School. Although they have declared the student a suspect, he may turn out to be dash. A, culpable. B, innocent. C, safe. D, ignorant. The time starts now.
B.
B, innocent. That is correct. Next question, Atuwatse II College. A load of mass 120 kg is raised vertically through a height of x by a machine whose efficiency is 100%. Calculate the power output by the machine. A, 60 watts. B, 80 watts. C, 100 watts. And D, 120 watts. A, 60 watts. And that is wrong. Bonus question to Okotiebo Grammar School. Your time starts now. All right, that was your time is up. We're moving now to the next question. And this question goes to Okotiebo Grammar School. A block and tackle system has 6 pulleys. If the machine's efficiency is 60%, determine its mechanical advantage. A. 12.6, B. 10.0, C. 3.6, and D. 3.2. Have less than 30 seconds.
B.
B. 10.0. And that is wrong. Bonus question to Atuwatse II College. Your time starts now.
C. D.
D. 3.2. And that is also wrong. The correct answer is C. 3.6. Next question, Atuwatse II College. What is the function of sulfur 4 oxide in the reaction represented by the following equation? SO2 bracket G plus 2H2S bracket G 3S8 plus 2H2O bracket G. A. Oxidizing agent. B. Oxide acceptor. C. Bleaching agent. D. Acid. And E. Precipitant. Your time starts now.
Oxidizing agent is one that releases oxygen. It released oxygen. Oxidizing. It releases oxygen. So what is that radiation agents? So that's a strangulation agent.
You have less than 30 seconds.
E. A. Oxidizing agent.
A. Oxidizing agent, and that is correct. Next question. Okotiebo Grammar School. The ice and steam points of a certain thermometer are minus 20 degrees Celsius and 120 degrees Celsius, respectively. Calculate the Celsius temperature corresponding to 75 degrees Celsius on the thermometer. A. 84 degrees Celsius. B. 75 degrees Celsius. C. 64 degrees Celsius. And D. 96 degrees Celsius. Your time starts now. Have less than 30 seconds. All right.
C. 64.
C. 64. All right, that's correct. All right, next question. Atuwatse II College. Find the value of x in 0.5x plus 26 equals 5x plus 0.35. A, 0.5. B, 2. C, 26. D, 5. The time starts now. You have less than 30 seconds.
D5.
D5. That is wrong. Bonus question to Okotiebo Grammar School. The time starts now.
We also had to read 0.5.
B2.
B2. And that is also wrong. The correct answer is A, 0.5. Next question, Okotiebo, you have the floor. Some outspoken social critics live a dash family life. A, reserved. B, happy. C, boisterous. D, still. Your time starts now.
A reserved.
A, reserved, and that is correct. Oh my God, I could feel the tension from here, and it's been a lot going on with Okotiebo Grammar School and Atuwatse II College. This is the first half of this session, and we'll go on a short break. When we come back, the second half begins. To stay with us.
The Ogiame Atuwatse III Inter-Collegiate Quiz and Debate Competition is proudly presented by the Office of the Sole Representative of the Olu of Warri to the NMPCL in conjunction with Kora Care Foundation and proudly sponsored by Rokotech Integrated Services Nigeria Limited and Ali Innovative Nigeria Limited. Ruth Gender Foundation. Media partners Atlantic Media and TV Group, Kora Radio, Prime Gossip Gazette, and Oyo-Ekòró TV.
Welcome back to the second half of this session, right here at the second round of the Ogiame Atuwatse III Intercollegiate Quiz and Debate Competition 2025. We've had a very beautiful first half. We still have on the podium Okotiebo Grammar School and Atuwatse II College going head to head to stand a chance to qualify to the next round. The big question now is, who would that be? Well, we'll find out after this round. We're back on here to take the next set of questions. I still remain your quiz master. Nkechi Tejere is my name. Okotiebo Grammar School, are you ready?
Yes, quiz master.
Atuwatse II College, are you also ready? Yes. All right, let's start off from where we stopped. Your question now, Atuwatse II College. Words spoken in the heat of an argument could offend rather than dash. A, pacify. B, amuse. C, inspire. And D, irritate. Your time starts now.
A, pacify.
A, pacify, and that is correct. Next question, Okotiebo Grammar School. Which of the following actions will improve the efficiency of a system? A, reducing the mass of the pulley. C, increasing the force between the string and the pulley. C, increasing the mass per unit length of the string and the pulley. And D, increasing the mass of the pulley. Your time starts now. B, increasing the force between the string and the pulley. And that is wrong. Bonus question to Atuwatse II College. Your time starts now.
Using the mouse to make it faster.
A, reducing the mass of the pulley, and that is correct. All right, Atuwatse, you have your question now. Points X, Y, Z are located in the horizontal plane such that Y is 12 kilometers north of X and Z.
The Ogiame Atuwatse III inter-collegiate quiz and debate competition. The Ogiame Atuwatse III inter-collegiate quiz and debate competition is proudly presented by the Office of the Sole Representative of the Olu of Warri to the NMPCL in conjunction with Kora Care Foundation and proudly sponsored by Rokotech Integrated Services Nigeria Limited and Ali Innovative Nigeria Limited. Ruth Gender Foundation. Media partners Atlantic Media and TV Group, Kora Radio, Prime Gossip Gazette, and Oyo-Ekòró TV.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Wow! 20 billion naira up for grabs! Oh my god!
The Ogiame Atuwatse III intercollegiate quiz and debate competition. The prize pool doubles from 10 million naira to a whopping 20 million naira. 10 million for the best in debate and 10 million for the best in quiz. The Ogiame Atuwatse III intercollegiate quiz and debate competition.
It's a good day to have a great day. Good morning and welcome to another exciting episode and edition of the Ogiame Atuwatse III intercollegiate quiz and debate competition. Yes, indeed, it's round 2 and it is the knockout stage, and only the sharpest minds and the strongest will survive and graduate to the next round. I'm your host. My name is Rejoice Debekebe, and you know how I do it? I drop in like it's hot. When you're with me, you don't have a choice but to rejoice. So we're hoping that all the schools are going to be excited by the time they leave in here at the end of the day. We're super excited to have a long list of formidable, amazing schools who are going to be participating for today's session. We have a lineup of about 10 schools who are going to be participating today head to head, and of course battling for or against the motion. We can't wait to see what their presentations will look like. But just before we kick off the competition, let me quickly inform you or remind you that 10 million naira is up for grabs for the debate competition. And of course, we have an extra 2 million naira courtesy of Root Gender Foundation for the best female participant. Who is it going to be? Who's going to wear that crown? Who's going to get it at the end of the day? And interestingly, one student can actually get it all, because we have students who are, simultaneously running for the debates competition, also for the quiz competition, and then if they're female, they can have the extra 2 million. That would be 22 million naira. Wow, that's a good place to clap if you ask me. Wonderful. Alrighty then. This debate is powered by the Olu of Warri through the office of the Olu of Warri and liaison to NNPCL, also Rukotech Integrated Nigerian Services Limited, Ale Innovative, Cora Care Foundation, and then of course we have Root Gender Foundation. Thank you all for being here. Are you ready?
Yes, moderator.
Are you sure you're ready?
Yes, moderator.
All right, we're going to hit the ground running, but first of all, I'd like to make some very, very distinguished introductions. Our amiable panel of judges, they're ready and they're set. And just in case you don't know them, you have not met them, you don't know who they are seasoned professionals. And today they're going to be evaluating every move, every logic, every charisma, every presentation of the debate. Okay, so who are they? We have sitting in as chief judge today, a seasoned administrator. He is Comrade Ajay Adaronkaren. We also have a public relations expert, Dediare Josephine is in the building. And then, of course, we have an amazing woman, soft-spoken, dishing it out and dropping it like it's hot as usual. She is Mrs. Jane Ibiaipibo Daniel Samuel. Alrighty then, now it's time for us to get the ball rolling. If you're ready, we are too. But first of all, let's hear from the judges what the criteria and some of the rules and regulations for the debate is for today. Judges, over to you.
Thank you very much, amiable moderator. The rules of the game, or otherwise the debate rules. Each school has a total of 3 slots at the studio, which is inclusive of the 2 participants and 1 teacher. No use of mobile phones. Cheating leads to immediate disqualification. Decorum for all participants and teachers. Speakers must present well-structured arguments with logical reasoning and supporting evidence. Interruption of an opponent is not allowed. All participants will get a total of 9 minutes per team. 6 minutes for the lead speaker and 3 minutes for supporting speaker. A countdown will begin 1 minute before the stop. Exceeding the time limit leads to deduction of marks. Judges are only expected to give their remark after each session along score points. Now, the participants need to hear this. Participants will be judged based on the following. 1. Content delivery. Public speaking and presentation of skills. Confidence, clarity and accuracy, neatness, time management, the use of offensive language, personal attack, or unverified claims may lead to disqualification or score deduction. Audience are only permitted to chair after the presentation is concluded or indicated by the moderator. This is to avoid distraction to participants. Decisions made by the judging panel are final and cannot be contested. Best of luck.
I think we can do better for our judges going on there, if you ask me. Okay, you know what time it is? It's the knockout stage for the Ogiame Atuwatse III inter-collegiate quiz and debate competition. I'm sure that the debaters are ready and we are ready as well. Now let's make a warm welcome with a warm round of applause, the lead speaker from Atuwatse II College.
My moderator, impartial panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, my co-moderators, the audience and viewers all over. I am Oyo-Ekoro Gospel from Atuwatse II College, the King's College, Ijala, Ifekoro. I am here to support the motion which states Nigeria students should be allowed to choose their subjects from an early age. Who are the Nigeria students? Nigeria students refer to an individual who is enrolled in an educational institution in Nigeria. And it will also be a Nigerian studying abroad. And as for me, I am a proud Nigeria student because I am resilient and can adapt to any situation. Imagine if I were allowed to choose my subjects from an early age, I'll be more specialized in my field of discipline. And this brings me to my point why the Nigeria students should be allowed to choose their subjects from an early age. 1. Early identification of interest and talent. When the students are allowed to choose their subjects from an early age, they are able to identify their interest and talent, which can help them guide their academic and career path. Also, it increases motivation and engagement. When students are allowed to choose subjects which interest them, they are more likely to be motivated and engaged in learning, which can lead to better academic performance. Also, development of specialized skills. Allowing students to specialize in specific subjects make them develop specialized skills and expertise, which make them more competitive in the job market. Also, better preparation for tertiary education. Allowing students to choose subjects from an early age, it makes them better prepared for their tertiary education, which will be required to specialize in specific field. Also, it promotes autonomy and self-directed learning. Allowing students to choose their subjects from an early age promotes autonomy and self-directed learning, which are essential skills for success in this our 21st century. It also addresses the issue of forced learning. Forcing students to learn subjects which they are not interested in lead to disengagement and poor academic performance, and it could be addressed by allowing the students choose subjects which interest them, leading to inclusive educative system. My opponent here might want to say allowing the students to choose their subjects too early may limit exposure to other important subjects. But I consider this because the student need to be exposed to a specific range of subjects, and this could be achieved through broad-based curriculum in the early age of education. They might also say some of the students may not have the maturity to make informed decisions about their subject choices, but I counter this because it could be addressed through guidance and counseling from teachers and parents, and the students can be given the opportunity to try out other subjects before making final choices. Also, they might also say it causes imbalance in the education system, making some subjects more popular than the others. But I counter this because the school can create policies for students to learn, even those subjects who are not popular than the others. And they can also create incentives for students to learn on that subject. In conclusion, I would say allowing the students to choose their subject from an early age has numerous benefits in their academic and personal development. While this valid concern about potential drawbacks, it could be addressed through careful planning, guidance, and counseling. With this, I am convinced that all of you will agree with me that the Nigeria students should be allowed to choose their subject from an early age. Thank you.
All right. We have heard from the lead speaker there from Atuwatse II College, laying the foundation. Now it's time for us to hear from the lead speaker from Oyo-Ekòró Secondary School.
What is choice to you? At a young age, students lack the maturity, experience, and necessary exposure to make life-altering choices. We are free to choose, but we are not free from the consequences of our choices. With that, good evening, Chairman, panel judges, moderator, Akure timekeeper, my worthy opponent, my esteemed audience. My name is Ewo Glory Eddie, and I stand here to oppose the motion that Nigerian students should be allowed to choose the subjects from an early age. Such a policy is not only detrimental to academic and personal life, but also limits career prospects, increases strength, and hinders the students from making well-informed decisions about their future. The dangers of early subject selection are immense, and I will highlight them with the following 4 points. First, narrowing of options and career limitation. Early subject selection forces students into a specific path before they can fully understand their interests and goals in life. Don't forget, the choice we make makes us and dictates the life we lead. A study shows that Early subject selection leads to unrealistic expectation, inadequate performance, and poor career choices. Second, lack of exposure and limited experience. Young students do not have the necessary exposure to make life-altering academic choices, and this may lead to them making choices they may later regret in life. Imagine a student who is naturally talented in accounting and finance but never realizing it because they were made to pick science subjects too early. We all know that society respects and adores doctors, and this will make students going for doctor courses that they may later regret. And the end result is doctors who have only the intellect but lack the managerial and problem-solving skills for life. Furthermore, the science of brain development, the prefrontal cortex of the brain, which is responsible for decision-making and problem-solving, is not fully developed until the mid-20s. A neuroscientist found that adolescence is a period of cognitive change, meaning young students may lack the mental capacity to make life-altering academic choices. My opponent may say that early to bed, early to rise, but remember, the words of the great Shakespeare say, "They that run fast stumble." We all know that the best fruit ripes slowly. My opponent may say that a stitch in time saves 9, but we all know that the voice of wisdom whispers, slow and steady wins the race. Unless they forgot, Rome was not built in a day. Without no iota of doubt, I hope I've been able to convince you all that early subject selection is not limits career opportunities, increases stress, and negatively impact both the student and the nation at large. I hope I've been able to convince you all that for the sake of the future of our students, we should decline this motion. For the sake of a student of the nation, we should decline this motion. If not, our nation risks creating a workforce that lacks critical skills for the development of our nation. I hope I've been able to convince you all to decline this motion for the sake of our students. No, I shall say for the sake of patriotism, for the future of our nation and the future of our students. Thank you.
The battle of words and persuasion has begun there with the lead speakers from Atuwatse II College and Oyo-Ekoro Secondary School. Now it's time for us to hear from the support speakers. But just before that happens, how about we go for a quick commercial, huh? I know you can't wait. I can't wait either. Stay close.
The Ogiame Atuwatse III inter-collegiate quiz and debate competition.
Hello, beautiful people, boys and girls, a beautiful audience right here in the studio, and to you, our lovely viewers, welcome to the second day of the highly anticipated Ogiame Atuwatse III Intercollegiate Quiz and Debate Competition 2025.
The Ogiame Atuwatse III Intercollegiate Quiz and Debate Competition. The Ogiame Atuwatse III Intercollegiate Quiz and Debate Competition.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
The Ogiame Atuwatse III Inter-Collegiate Quiz and Debate Competition is proudly presented by the Office of the Sole Representative of the Oyo-Ekòró to the NMPCL in conjunction with Oyo-Ekòró Foundation and proudly sponsored by Rokotech Integrated Services Nigeria Limited and Ale Innovative Nigeria Limited. Ruth Gender Foundation. Media partners Atlantic Media and TV Group, Kora Radio, Prime Gossip Gazette, and Oyo-Ekòró TV. The Ogiame Atuwatse III Inter-Collegiate Quiz and Debate Competition is proudly presented by the Office of the Sole Representative of the Oyo-Ekòró to the NMPCL in conjunction with Oyo-Ekòró Foundation and proudly sponsored by Rokotech Integrated Services Nigeria Limited and Ale Innovative Nigeria Limited. Ruth Gender Foundation. Media partners Atlantic Media and TV Group, Kora Radio, Prime Gossip Gazette, and Oyo-Ekòró TV.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Reply, great Nigerian student. Are you sure you want to be great? If you are sure, say great. Now, I want to say this. I'm a proud product of Nana College. I left Nana College 2003. I love you guys. And also, I'm also in the teaching profession. I also taught in Don Domingos College from 2017. To date, I'm still doing the job. Kudos to you guys. Now, life now sense. When I don't say you talk about drugs. Building your career in worry, wisdom. So mothers, how you go tell your own pikin? You don't begin to spray pikin hair. You want to tell your pikin hair to green for this age. And you want me the pikin get better career. Now your pikin don't wear bone shorts. You deliver. You say na fashion. I career want it bright. Now between Nigeria police and Nigeria army, who na like pass? Which one?
The Ogiame Atuwatse III Inter-Collegiate Quiz and Debate Competition.
Here to the Ogiame Atuwatse III Intercollegiate Quiz and Debate Competition. We have had the lead speakers set the pace for the competition. Now it's time for us to hear how the supporters will follow. I'm talking about Atuwashe II College and Oyo-Ekòró Secondary Schools. Can we celebrate them one more time? Battling it out head-to-head for and against the motion for the topic, should Nigerian students be allowed to choose their subject from an early age? Let us make welcome the support speaker from Atuwashe II College.
Good day, my moderator, honorable judges, accurate timekeepers, my co-debaters, my audience, and my viewers worldwide. I am Abayowa Peter Shemoga from Atuwashe II College, the King's College, Ife-Ijala. I am here to support my chief speaker in the motion that says Nigerian students should be allowed to choose their subject from an early age. I stand firmly in the support of this motion. This is because I am proudly a Nigerian student who is ambitious and determined. I believe that allowing Nigerian students to choose their subject from an early age can have a profound impact on their academic success, personal growth, and future career prospects by giving students the autonomy to select subjects that align with their strengths and interests. By allowing Nigerian students to choose their subject from an early age can help them focus on areas that genuinely interest them. This personalized approach to learning can lead to motivation, better academic performance, and a more positive attitude towards education. It brings about critical thinking and problem-solving skills, which means thinking outside the box. Allowing Nigerian students to choose their subject from an early age or giving them freedom can promote autonomy and accountability. They can be self-aware and accountable of things they do. We all know Nigerian students have significant achievements academics, both locally and internationally. Though they may go through numerous challenges, but still their ambition and determination propel them forward. By using a personal example from an early age, I believe that I will have discovered my passion sooner. In conclusion, I firmly believe that allowing Nigerian students to choose their subject from an early age is a crucial step towards creating inclusive, exclusive, and student-centered education system. Thank you.
Okay, the support speaker from Atuwatse II College has solidified their main argument points. Now let's hear from the support speaker from Oyo-Ekoro Secondary School.
Good day, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, my co-debaters, and of course, my esteemed audience. I am Precious Nana from Oyo-Ekoro Secondary School, and I stand today to oppose the motion that said should Nigerian students be allowed to select their subject from an early age. According to Lao Tzu, the ancient Chinese philosopher once said, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Forcing a student to select a career path from an early age is like putting a cart before the horse. Instead, we should let them mature, experience field, and make more better choices. A study published in the journal Neuron discovered that adolescent brain undergoes significant changes in structure and functions, affecting decision-making and impulse control. Take, for example, Fela Kuti, the legendary musician who started off by studying medicine and later switched to music. If he had been locked into that decision, he may not have discovered his true passion. Also, barrister Mrs. Ogechi Jessica Mebele once said at the Future of Orisha at 24th October that she started by studying medicine and later switched to law. If she had been locked into that decision, she may not have discovered her true passion for law. Also, Wole Soyinka, the Nobel laureate, has spoken about the importance of exploration and discovery, which he could not achieve in his early years, which has ultimately led him to become a writer. My opponent, life may not give you what you want. Maybe there is a need or change of career. What would happen if you don't have a foundation for that? I'll tell you, loss of time, depression, low self-esteem, and ultimately death. While some may argue that early social selection gives them the sense of purpose and direction, I however counter that this can be overly restrictive and limiting. Instead, we should focus on providing a well-rounded foundation, a well-rounded education foundation, and also letting them explore and discover their true passion. In conclusion, rather than early subject selection, we should allow them explore and make a perfect decision and a well-informed decision at a more mature stage. With these few points of mine, I hope I'm able to convince you that we strongly stand against the motion. Thank you.
Wow, okay, that has started us off nicely here for the Ogiame Atuwatse III inter-collegiate quiz debate competition. Second round, the knockout stage. Who is going to remain in the game? At the end of this session, we're going to find out from our judges and what the score sheets have to say right after this.
Has got what it takes to wear the intellectual crown. Who will conquer the stage and walk home with the King's Prize? Oyo-Ekoro III inter-collegiate quiz and debate competition moves into the next phase, and the prize has just doubled. Now the debate champion will take home a jaw-dropping 10 million naira, likewise a mind-blowing 10 million naira. And if we have a single winner in both categories, the winner takes home all 20 million naira. The Ogiame Atuwatse III inter-collegiate debate competition is not just a contest, it is the clash of brilliance, strategy, and determination. The fire is on. Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Okay, my name is Jane Tosan Ibiaiprebos Samuel, the creative director, Kekistry Sugar Craft. It's been a real big honor being part of this competition and being a judge. It's been quite educating, informative, and I'll say a worthwhile experience. Having these kids come out, talk. When you see them sitting calmly, you will never believe they have so much stuff inside them to pour out. And to think that it's coming from Warri, Delta State. It's been really fun. It's been really enjoyable. Wow, why not? I've learned so much. Coming to talk about the social media being catalyst for change, and wow, it's been really informative. So many things I learned, so many things I never thought in that light before now. It's been really good. This has been a really good initiative coming from the Ogiame Atuwatse III. And I would want to rather advise or encourage other individual parastatals, wherever, they should try and emulate this initiative. It's a good one because we've never had it this good. Think of the prize money, that's much money, so to say. And so others, individual coming in and taking this initiative and running with it would be a good deal.
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Wow! 20 million naira up for grabs! Oh my god!
The Ogiame Atuwatse III inter-collegiate quiz and debate competition. The prize pool doubles from 10 million naira to a whopping 20 million naira. 10 million for the best in debate and 10 million for the best in quiz. The Ogiame Atuwatse III inter-collegiate quiz and debate
Truth. Yes, indeed, the truth is about to be revealed on who is advancing to the next round. We're going to hear from our judges shortly. But just before that happens, let me quickly remind you that this is the second round knockout stage for the Ogiame Atuwatse III inter-collegiate quiz and debate competition. And we've just had our first session here with lead speakers and supporting speakers from Atuwatse II College and Oyo-Ekòró Secondary School, dropping out their points powerfully. We're going to find out how they fared shortly. Debaters, how are you doing? How are you doing right now? Doing fine. Are you sure? Okay, was that intense? Was it scary? Okay, so if debating was a sport, what sport is it going to be for you? Say that again. Tug of war. Tug of war, that's the one we hold the rope, right? And we go back and forth. Oh, nice. I like that one. Okay. How about you, please?
Tennis table.
Say that again.
Table tennis.
Table tennis. Table tennis with the back and the forth. Okay, that also sounds cool. All right, Precious, let's hear it.
Basketball.
Basketball? Really? Why basketball?
When you throw it, see opposite.
Like when you bounce, you're dropping your points and then you dunk, you hit it. Wow, nice one. Okay, how about you, Glory? Tennis too. Why are you guys feeling the tennis vibes? Lawn tennis, not table tennis. Lawn tennis is the longer. Okay, why is that?
Lawn tennis needs strength and agility.
It needs strength and agility. So you think you need strength for a debate. You cannot be weak, cool. You need to have mind to chest it. Okay? All right, let's hear from our judges real quick. Judges, what are your thoughts?
Lead speaker from Atuwatse came in seamlessly transitioning from one point to another. It was cool. Then coming to Oyo-Ekòró, you did a good job with giving us some quotes from great minds and linking it to your points. That's just seal it up for you. Thank you.
Yay! Okay.
So that was a very good one. Personally for me, I'm quite impressed. I would say especially for Egbokodo, I like the way I could see notable people in our society that had a change of career. I like the examples. I also like the agility, the confidence in the lead speaker from Atuwatse II College. And I would also like to commend the supporting speaker from Egbokodo. She did a one on that.
Well done, guys.
Thank you. Good job, good presentation, and I'm happy we're starting on a good note today. I have one or two observations. We're told, or we're given some examples of some persons who started early, the likes of Barrister Jessica Ogeshi, Wole Soyinka. But we're not told any living or dead example that chose late, that was affected by not allowing to choose early. I don't know whether I heard something like that. Whoever is proposing or opposing, well, like we saw some examples of persons who benefited from choosing early, who were allowed to choose early. Said topics, should Nigerian students be allowed to choose career early? So, to my mind, it should have been nice. Like you've given us some examples of those who benefited from choosing early. We should also have some examples, either living or dead, who were affected by not choosing early. I don't know whether I'm communicating. So, children, please take note. If I will not abuse the time allotted to me, the support speaker, you did very well. But in English language, there's what we call words, comparative and superlative. You cannot use the word more better in any sentence. So please, teachers, take note. So that you're using the word good, better, or best. Because I heard you say more better. This is a learning process. We're all learning. It's a learning curve. But in conclusion, thank you. You've done well. Kudos.
Thank you to our very esteemed judges. All right, the truth is about to come out after such a heated debate, of which all our debaters did extremely well. Let's celebrate them again. The judges have decided. Now it's time for us to find out who is progressing to the next round. For Atuwatse II College, they came through with a total of 40 points. Oyo-Ekoro Secondary School, they totaled 41 points. That was a catch, if you ask me. That's just 1 point difference going on there and giving it away to Oyo-Ekoro Secondary School. So let's congratulate them nicely. They are moving to the next round. Well done, guys. You did brilliantly well. Remember, this is a learning curve. Nobody is failing here. We're all learning together, and when we know better, we do better. When we learn better, we become better. And whenever an opportunity shows up, either now or later in future, we're going to deliver excellently. Wonderful. I believe all of us are having a great time. Audience? Yes? Another warm round of applause. Okay, the games have just begun with our first set of schools. We'll go for a quick break now. When we return, we have other formidable schools lined up. You want to find out how you're going to do? Then stay with us.
The Ogiame Atuwatse III Inter-Collegiate Quiz and Debate Competition is proudly presented by the Office of the Sole Representative of the Olu of Warri to the NMPCL in conjunction with Kora Care Foundation, and proudly sponsored by Rokotech Integrated Services Nigeria Limited and Ali Innovative Nigeria Limited. Ruth Gender Foundation. Media partners Atlantic Media and TV Group, Kora Radio, Prime Gossip Gazette, and Oyo-Ekoro TV.
Akorufoma imeromu ewe mumirawa o uye mama biko meyeri kugbofo uye bo marufe uye Uvye bo marufe, emoru uvye bo marufe o. Uvye bo marufe, uvye bo marufe, emoru uvye bo marufe o. O mamofe, emoru uvye mebiko meyerin kugbe. Ororu uvye rumarawane afefe bubu. Oro wa wivon yi megbigbe. Uvye bo marufe, uvye bo marufe, emoru uvye bo marufe.
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Akorufo ma imero mu o, egwe mu mirawa o. Uvye mama biko, meyerin kugbofo. Uvye bo marufe, uvye bo marufe, emoru uvye bo marufe o. Uvye bo marufe, uvye bo marufe, emoru uvye bo marufe o. O mamonu viefe, emoru uvye mebiko meyerin kugbe. Ororu uvye rumarawane afefe bubu. Oro wa wivon yi megbigbe. Uvye bo marufe, uvye bo marufe, emoru uvye bo marufe o.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined, uniquely different. The Ogiame Atuwatse III inter-collegiate quiz and debate competition.
The brilliance continues here at the second round, the knockout stage for the Ogiame Atuwatse III intercollegiate quiz and debate competition. I'm your moderator and host, Rejoice Debekeme is my name. We just wrapped up the very intense first session going on there with just 1 point, giving it away to the other school. Let's find out how this next session pans out as we have here in studio now, Shooty Girls Model Secondary School versus Eagle Might International School. Brilliant. Okay, girls. So we have all girls. Wow. Looking blue, navy blue, biro blue. Everybody looking bluey. I'm sure you're going to blow us away, right? How ready are we? On a scale of 10, Glory, Esther, how ready are you? 8. Nice. Esther? 9. 9. Oh my God. Keno? 10. 10? Oh wow. How about you? 10. It's 10, number 10, number 10. Okay, we like the sound of 10. Let's see how your confidence works for you as we begin the debate competition for this particular year. Veteran broadcaster, retired but not tired, Mrs. Oyo-Ekòró. Let's celebrate her. Okay, now panel of judges ready. Audience, are you ready? Okay, one more time. Can't hear you. Are you ready? Yes, all right, I believe the debaters are ready as well. So let's hit the ground running. Who's the first lead speaker? Let's make welcome the beautiful girl from Shooty Girls Model Secondary School.
For an economy to flourish, it requires active participation of all working class individuals in these economic activities, usually through employment. With this, I say good day, moderators, impartial panel of judges, I call the across the globe. My name is and I'm here to raise my voice in favor of the motion which says, can entrepreneurship solve Nigeria's unemployment problem? I strongly affirm the motion. Entrepreneurship is the process of setting up a new business venture with the aim of generating profits or creating value, whereas unemployment is a situation whereby a person who is willing and able to work is unable to find one. Financial incompetence, crime, low standard of living, and underdevelopment are often as societies. Can entrepreneurship solve these problems? I strongly propose the motion. To begin with, entrepreneurs have created several job opportunities across our diversity opportunities through the establishment of private business. For instance, in several local governments of Delta State, most youth are gainfully employed by entrepreneurs who set up businesses such as hotels, educational centers, eateries. We also have large-scale entrepreneurs who have employed hundreds, if not thousands of individuals within the nation. The likes of Aliko Dangote, founder of Dangote Groups, Jim Ovia, founder of Zenith Bank, late Captain Osa Wells Okumbo, father of the wife of the Oyo-Ekòró, who was a great entrepreneur, owning several companies at an agricultural sector. It is evident that entrepreneurship can ultimately solve unemployment problem in Nigeria. Entrepreneurial ideas require minimal capital to operate. I present you a practical example. Just by liaising with a meat supermarket owner for a temporary borrowed capital of 100,000 naira in cash and 100,000 naira in their POS wallet, most Nigerian youth created job opportunities for themselves during the cashless policy period in 2022 and generated more than 3 estimates of 90,000 naira monthly and over 1 million naira yearly. Even today, with same capital as a roadside POS vendor, Nigerian youth still make up to 3,000 naira daily and command such returns yearly. There are other entrepreneurial ideas that require minimal capital to operate, such as barbing, hairstyling. The problem is unemployment, and practically, entrepreneurship can be the solution when diligently applied. More so, entrepreneurs have created more job opportunities via philanthropic deeds, such as willful donation to the government, creation of NGOs. These NGOs directly hire citizens for its operation, give career grants to finance the opportunities of our beneficiaries. In 2020, during the COVID-19 pandemic, some major philanthropists who are entrepreneurs contributed financially to the battle against coronavirus. Other NGOs founded by philanthropic entrepreneurs include the Captain Wells Okumbo STEM Innovation Center, We Elevate Africa, and the Royal Iwere Foundation, owned by the wife of the Oyo-Ekòró, Tony Elumelu Foundation, to mention but a few. It is clear, my listeners, that entrepreneurship is Nigeria's unemployment problem. Similarly, entrepreneurial taxes aid the government in creating more job opportunities. From the ticket sold to motorcycle and tricycle owners to the personal income tax imposed on entrepreneurial businesses, the government are able to establish and create more job opportunities and also hire citizens to serve in these establishments. More so, according to the National Bureau of Statistics, entrepreneurship is the bedrock of the Nigerian economy. In Nigeria, small and medium enterprises contribute to 49% of the national gross domestic product. They also account for 96% of businesses and about 85% of the total industrial employment. Research have also proved that entrepreneurs are the drivers of innovation and they perform a crucial role in the area of job creation in Nigeria. With this few points of view, I hope I have been able to make you believe that entrepreneurship can totally eradicate unemployment problem in Nigeria. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to find out if these motions are convincing at the end of the day. Now let's make welcome the lead speaker from Eagle Might International School.
Good day, moderator, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Omoshaliwa Isiaka, a student from the prestigious Institution of Learning, Eagle Might International Schools, and I stand before you today to strongly oppose the motion that entrepreneurship can solve Nigeria's unemployment problem. While entrepreneurship holds a promise and is undeniably important for economic development, it is far from being the sole or sufficient solution to Nigeria's unemployment problem. In fact, placing such a heavy reliance on entrepreneurship is not only unrealistic, but also overlook the systemic challenges that must be addressed for a long-term solution to be effective. Now, here are some of the reasons why entrepreneurship is not the sufficient solution to Nigeria's unemployment problem. Firstly, high failure rate of startups in Nigeria. Entrepreneurship is inherently risky, and in Nigeria, failure rates of startups are alarmingly high. Studies show that about 80% of small businesses fall within the first 5 years. Why is this so, you may ask? The answer lies in the harsh realities of Nigeria's business environment. Factors such as inadequate infrastructure, inconsistent power supply, poor access to capital often plague entrepreneurs. In such a setting, entrepreneurship becomes a gamble rather than a guaranteed route to success. Expecting large-scale unemployment reduction through ventures that most likely collapse is at best a misguided option. Secondly, limited market opportunities. Nigeria's economy is heavily dependent on oil, and other factors that should diversify the economy are underdeveloped. While entrepreneurs may have innovative ideas, their success depends on the availability of markets for their goods and services. In an economy where the purchasing power is low due to widespread poverty, the demands of goods and services are stifled. Without access to available markets, entrepreneurship will not thrive and job creation will be limited. Thus, relying solely on entrepreneurship to solve Nigeria's unemployment problem without addressing the economic issues is an exercise in futility. Thirdly, lack of entrepreneurial skills and education. It is one thing to encourage people to start up businesses. It's another for them to possess the right skill and education necessary for them to run those businesses successfully. Many unemployed youths in Nigeria do not have the required training in financial management, marketing, or even operational efficiency. The country's educational system does not prioritize entrepreneurship education, and the available vocational training programs are inadequate. Without proper mentorship and education, many youth to start up businesses that are poorly managed and will ultimately fail. To solve unemployment in Nigeria requires a strong foundation in skill acquisition and not just entrepreneurs. Furthermore, not everyone is cut out to be an entrepreneur. It is a myth that entrepreneurship is a universal solution. And I know that may be a hard pill for my opponents to swallow, but not everyone has the temperament, creativity, or reach to be an entrepreneur. By overemphasizing on entrepreneurship, we neglect the fact that a well-functioning economy requires both entrepreneurs and employees. Most large economies like China and the United States thrive because there is a balance between the innovative entrepreneurs and the workforce that keep industries running. Focusing exclusively on entrepreneurship neglects the importance of job creation through public sector employment, industrial growth, and corporate expansion. In conclusion, while entrepreneurship is important, it is not a panacea for Nigeria's unemployment problem. The hardness environment, limited market opportunities, and the fact that not everyone is cut out to be an entrepreneur are crucial limitations. To solve unemployment, Nigeria needs a holistic approach that involves active government intervention and economic diversification. Therefore, I strongly oppose that entrepreneurship is not the sufficient solution to Nigeria's unemployment problem, and I urge us all to adopt a more realistic and comprehensive view at the issue at hand. Thank you.
Oh, come on, we can do better than that. What? I'm proud of our girls who have come through as lead speakers right now from Eagle Might Secondary School. We've also heard from Chudi Girls Model Secondary School. Wow, wow, wow. They have laid the foundation. They have hit the ground running. It's now time for us to find out how the support speakers are going to do. If you're ready, we are. Let the games continue. Let's make welcome the support speaker from Chudi Girls Model Secondary School.
Good day, panel of judges, moderator, my fellow debaters, and my attentive audience. My name is Akpobi Esther, and I'm here to support the motion which says entrepreneurship is the solution to unemployment in Nigeria. Nigeria faces three critical challenges: a growing youth population, limited job opportunities, and a struggling economy. We all have seen the devastating impact of unemployment on our friends, family, and community members, leading to youth restiveness and the obviously now trending Yahoo syndrome. Kidnapping, ritual killings, and all other social vices, where entrepreneurship offers a solution to all. Entrepreneurs often start by hiring a small team. As the business grows, entrepreneurs will hire more employees to support with the operation, sales, marketing, and all other functions. Even the Nigerian government recognizes the value of entrepreneurship in driving economic growth and development. Entrepreneurship can help diversify the economy by promoting non-oil sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, and services. My opponents might have argued that most entrepreneurs lack access to funding, making it difficult for them to start and grow their business. But let me remind you that there are now new funding options for entrepreneurs in Nigeria, such as the venture capital fund, finance institutions, and all other crowdfunding platforms. Also, the government has implemented initiations for entrepreneurs in Nigeria, such as the National Youth Investment Fund. We send our children to school to study, graduate, with the hope of any white-collar job. But we still create time and opportunity for them to learn skills, such as hairdressing job becomes a problem. They can fall back to these skills to help them earn a living. Now, this is entrepreneurship being a solution to their unemployment problem. Sometimes these skills even help them move further in life than the white-collar jobs would have. As Nelson Mandela said, the greatest glory lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Let us rise to the challenges of unemployment in Nigeria, and let us use entrepreneurship as our guiding light. Thank you.
Supporting speakers coming through like lead speakers now, huh? Let's see what the support speaker from Eagle Might International School has.
If entrepreneurship can truly solve unemployment problem in Nigeria, why is Nigeria still grappling with over 30% unemployment despite having millions of small businesses and startups? Ladies and gentlemen, we have been sold the idea that if every unemployed Nigerian simply starts a business, joblessness will disappear. But let's face reality. If entrepreneurship were the magic cure, we wouldn't be in this crisis. With all protocols duly observed, my name is Asiafa Kenu, and I stand before you today as a student and a proud representative of one of the finest institutes of learning, Eagle Might International Schools, to challenge the idea that entrepreneurship can solve Nigeria's unemployment problem. I would like to start by addressing the unpredictable policies made by the government, which can affect entrepreneurship adversely. The combination of subsidy removals and currency devaluation has contributed to soaring inflation rates. This increases the cost of raw materials, energy, and transportation, which worsens matters, leaving people in more debt and frustration. This is basically why most youths are falling into depression. Do we still really want that to persist in our country? Of course not. Besides, many entrepreneurs focus on self-employment rather than job creation. They now start businesses to sustain themselves rather than employing others. Many entrepreneurs need staff to handle their day-to-day activities. There are so many businesses in the world out there, but not enough workers to sustain them. If everyone decides to become an entrepreneur, who will be the employees? For information, a successful business requires the assistance of one or more person in order to make our city worry. There are so many small shops and businesses with staff, but the next day, the staff are gone. Leaving slate of sales girls needed, sales boys needed. Why? Simply because the entrepreneurs or our so-called entrepreneurs do not have the right orientation about entrepreneurship. Subsequently, success in Nigeria's business is influenced by connections rather than merits. Many government contracts and job opportunities go to individuals with political and familiar ties rather than those with the best business ideas. Let's not forget I'm talking about our country, Nigeria, a society where connection is more dependable than your mere knowledge. Now I leave with this question, including my co-debaters. In a society where who you know matters than what you know, do you really think entrepreneurship can solve Nigeria's unemployment problem? Think about it. And with that, I know I've been able to give a compelling and well-structured argument to challenge the idea that entrepreneurship can solve Nigeria's unemployment problem. Thank you.
Okay, thank you too. That was an intense showdown going on there. While some are bringing the logic and the reasoning and spitting fire, others are bringing strategy and dropping it like it's HOT. Wow, these girls didn't come to play. These girls are on fire. Okay, we're super proud of you. And we can't wait to hear what the judges have to say about the presentations. Keep in mind that 2 million naira is up for grabs, courtesy of Root Gender Foundation, to the best female participant. Ooh, cha. Okay. Is the winner among these girls here? We will find out. Let's go for a quick break. When we return back, the score sheets and the judges will reveal what they think.
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different.
My name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst of one of Nigerian comedy.
Alright guys, back again, yes boss, my name is Osh baby.
Yemi Alade.
Yeah, what up people, it's your boy Victor AD.
Girl Niniola.
My name is my wife and just celebrity type man.
My papa say who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV, we wanna party.
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Wow! 20 million naira up for grabs! Oh my god!
The Ogiame Atuwatse III inter-collegiate quiz and debate competition. The prize pool doubles from 10 million naira to a whopping 20 million naira. 10 million for the best in debate and 10 million for the best in quiz. The Ogiame Atuwatse III inter-collegiate quiz and debate competition.
We are back like we never left, and we're sitting at the edge of our seats. Everybody, the heart race is pumping, beating, running fast right now because we can't wait to find out what the scores are and who is moving to the next round. We're going to find out from the judges in 5 and 4 and 3, 2, 1. Over to you, judges.
Quite good, well prepared, which is surprisingly polite. That was 2 days Saple. You know, never thought we could have such strong ladies from that school. You both did your research very well because all the points being brought was counted and it made sense, especially thinking of our country where things don't seem to work. But it also made us know that entrepreneurship can also work in our country if certain steps are taken. And citing example within up here, made sense. So it was difficult for me to score, but I'll tell you, I made a confession. I scored both of you the same. The only thing, one of the rules says, deduction will be done if you do not stick to the time. And that's what failed one of the schools. Thank you.
Okay, to me, this was a very good one. I was able to calmly listen. I was so focused on the individual debaters that at the point I had to calm myself down to know what they were saying. But it was a very good one. But I would like to say, on individual level, I would say they are both on par on this particular session. But I feel, on my perspective, one school had an edge when it came to stage presence, confidence, and the way they carried themselves. So even though time was deducted because the time affected both sides, but one school also had an edge with the stage presence and confidence. Thank you.
Yeah, this is what a debate is all about. The ability to counter your opponent by stating your facts. Though I made an observation with eagle minds, practically shooting yourself in the foot by referring to China economy that is not entrepreneurship driven. That's not really true.
Okay, we've heard from our distinguished judges, and the verdict is out. We have been in the race through round 1. This is round 2, and it happens to be knockout stage. Oh my God, who's going to move to the next round? Let's find out. But I think from what some of the judges have spoken up about, we see that everything adds up by the end of the day. So you might be an eloquent speaker, but maybe you're not neat enough. You might be neat enough, or maybe you're not confident enough, you know. So everything pretty much adds up together. And when you can cook the pot of stew with all the nice ingredients, it's going to come out tasting nice. Let's find out how our beautiful girls did. Girls, how are you feeling? Are you ready to hear it? Yes? Okay. Let's give the big reveal. For Chudi Girls Model Secondary School, they totaled 43. And for Eagle Might International School, they came through with a total of 44 points. Oh my. Again and again, we've had just 1 point taking it away for one of the schools. Oh my goodness. But did they do well? When you have a close tie like that, you know it was a tough one, even for the judges. And that is also a testament to the point that these girls delivered excellently. Let's celebrate them again. Fantastic. Well done, well done. Okay, it's Rejoice Debekebe here. Everything is going on nice and smoothly. There's no cause for alarm. Everything is under control. We're still geared up and pumped up. We've had 4 schools down. We have 6 more to go. Those formidable powerhouse schools. What are they going to do? How are they going to do it? We're going to find out if you stick around and stay with us.
Ogiame Atuwatse III Inter-Collegiate Quiz and Debate Competition is proudly presented by the representative of the Oyo-Ekòró to the NMPCL in conjunction with Kora Care Foundation and proudly sponsored by Rokotech Integrated Services Nigeria Limited and Ali Innovative Nigeria Limited. Ruth Gender Foundation. Media partners Atlantic Media and TV Group, Kora Radio, Prime Gossip Gazette, and Oyo-Ekòró TV. Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Hello, hello, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. My name is Rejoice Debekebe. I'm super excited to have in studio with us a very inspiring individual, one that has carried the wings, the spirit of Warri with her across board into global and international platforms. Please help me make welcome with a shout the ever dynamic and phenomenal Warami Matu. My goodness, it's so good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
You look beautiful.
Thank you so much.
My goodness. Oh, awesome. All right, so it's Warami Matu, and it's so good to have you here, but we'd like to have a background, first of all, to who exactly is Warami Matu?
Okay, so the name is actually Warami Matu, but I mean Warami for short. So, oh well, I'm just the little Warri girl that now works with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I'm a Nigerian diplomat. I recently returned from my posting at the Permanent Mission of Nigeria in Geneva. I grew up in Warri. I was raised in Warri. I attended Prime International School, Twin Fountain, and Creative Demonstration College. And I had my first degree in French language at the Delta State University of Accra. Then I proceeded to serve the nation, of course, in Lagos. While I was serving, when I was about to pass out, and then there was a vacancy at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So I applied for the job. I went through the, aptitude test, interview, and to the glory of God, I got the job. And here we are, 11 years later.
Wow.
Thank you.
It just seems like it moved from 0 to 100 real quick, but trust me, there's a process and there's a lot of in-betweens. going on there. For starters, you're a confirmed worry girl.
Oh, yes,
we can
sure.
say that. So it's
Of
like
course.
worry to the world.
Of course. Yeah. So I'm raised in worry. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So do you speak any Pidgin English?
Of course I do.
Ooh.
I speak Pidgin English. I speak Oyo-Ekoro fluently.
You speak Ishekiri?
Fluently.
So how do we greet people? Let's greet people so that we believe, because they say, are you sure this one she's speaking all this plenty English like this? Are you sure she can?
So what do you want me to talk?
Hey! Give them. Back to back. Now, your clear area, and I mean area, no, say based on one or two, say as you grow up for areas, you still get area for your body.
Full-blooded.
Full-blooded.
Yeah.
Okay. So you eat owo and starch?
I eat owo and starch. I eat banga soup. Melon pepper soup. Okra soup. Starch. Everything.
You played in the sand. You did all the type of games.
And maybe I didn't really play in the sand though. I'm not sure I did that. No.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about your journey, right? What propelled you from that young age? What's that motivation that you had as a young child to say, I'm more than this worry girl, type thing. I'm more than this.
Yeah, I really don't know what it was, but I've always thought, there's more. There's more to just being in worry. I mean, seeing movies, seeing Lagos, and, I just wanted to be more. I wanted to be out there. I've always wanted that. In fact, after service, I didn't return to worry because I served in Lagos State. And at the time, my mom knew. Then she had a shop and, before I finished, she was like, oh, Roger, what's your plan? I was like, of course, I want to get a job. She now said, okay, that's plan A. So what's plan B? I was like, I don't have plan B, just plan A. And she said, okay, she had 2 shops at the time. She was like, okay, your plan B would be, I'm proposing, I'll give you the bigger shop. I'll move to the smaller one. You'd manage it, you pay off the sales girl, just take charge, be the manager and everything. I was like, okay, but I still didn't want that. And she knew. So I still didn't return. At the time, I had already applied for the foreign affairs job and obviously to some other companies at the time. And in between, I think the College of Education worry, they were also recruiting. And my parents, they're like, oh, you should apply. They forced me. And I sent in my application. I was also called for an interview at the time for the aptitude test and subsequently the interview. So my mom was even teasing me. She was like, Orishe. So I had not heard back from Foreign Affairs at the time. So I just did the aptitude test at Foreign Affairs. That was all. So she was teasing me like, Orishe, say you don't want to work in worry. See you now. You're coming back to worry. I'm like, no. Coincidentally, the day I went for my interview at College of Education was when my name was published for the interview for Foreign Affairs. And, she was also very happy about that. So like, oh, wow, But I've always, I don't know, from a very young age, I knew there was more. I wanted more. I just didn't want to remain small or just being worried. And when people see me, they find it difficult to believe that, oh, I was born and raised in worry. They'll be like, it's a lie. It's not true. Maybe you're raised in Lagos, or one of the Ajiabotas, or no, I wasn't.
You were actually raised
in worry.
In worry.
Yeah.
Okay.
BIA Street. I don't know if you know that, somewhere around in Marine Quarters.
Marine Quarters.
Yeah, that was where I was raised.
Street.
Yeah, BIA Street.
Confirmed. Old worry. Okay. Now, so for the child, for the students, for the youths, for the young one who's listening to you right now, who feels like, I also feel like there's something on the inside of me. I don't just want to be like, there's nothing wrong with worry, but I just want to limit myself to this space where it is like, this is all that I am. But I don't exactly have the money, or maybe I don't have the support. When you had that innate desire on the inside of you, did you have a good support system? Did you have backing? What else did you have apart from that? What was step 2?
Well, God was step 1 all the way, trusting God. Because for instance, when I picked up the form at the Civil Service Commission in Ibadan for Foreign Affairs, where lots of people, you can imagine, And someone was like, oh, me, I don't get this work already. My uncle is whether a Commodore or something. First of all, I don't even have anyone. There are people that actually believe for you to get up there, you need to know someone or know someone. I knew nobody. Nobody. Was absolutely God all through, all the way. Like, God saw me through every step of the way from, picking up the form. Because first and foremost, they're like, oh, you ought to have passed out and you have to present your discharge certificate before you can even get the form. At the time, I was still serving, and it was just few days to my personal parade. Thankfully, the deadline for submission of the form was a day after my POP. So immediately I picked up my certificate, I went straight to Ibadan to submit my form. So now, how did I even get the form? Everyone was crowded at the time. I don't know if you know Ibadan very well. The Civil Service Commission, like, was filled up with people, front, back, everywhere. In fact, I even attempted to even buy the form from someone. I was like, oh, because I don't have this. And the person was like, oh, twink. I was like, oh, I don't have that. You know, they were just teasing me at the time. Then I just went behind and I just said a little prayer to God. I was like, God, please shine your light on me. And from nowhere, someone was like, one of the officials that came from Abuja was like, do you want the form? I said yes. And he sent someone to give him the form. The first person he sent ran away with the form because, I mean, at the time, everybody wanted the form. So I signaled to him to say, oh, I've not found the form. I've not gotten the form yet. And then he sent another core member that was working there to say, okay, go and give this lady. So he gave me a lot of form. I think like 3 forms. So we're leaving. And it was when I was leaving, that was when someone was like, oh, so you applied for foreign, you're going for foreign affairs. I said, yeah, what's your number? I was like, oh, my form doesn't have a number. He now said, no, this is not foreign affairs form. Foreign affairs form, they actually numbered them. So I had to go back to the commission. Then it was already 5 p.m. So we were allowing people, the office had closed so people could actually go in. And then I met the young man. Till tomorrow, he didn't even tell me his name. I can't even recognize him if I see him tomorrow. So I was like, oh, thank you very much for the form, but I actually want the one, because then there was a vacancy for Labor and Ministry of Labor and Productivity, Ministry of Education, and Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But I was like, I want Ministry of Foreign Affairs because I studied French. So I felt, oh, that was where I'll be able to, you know, function better. And he now said, oh, we've already locked up the form. And it was the same core member that said, oh, you remember there's somewhere we used to keep stuff. Just, you can keep it there, because he was returning to Abuja the following day. And now she now said, oh, when she comes on Monday, she can come over on Monday and I'll give her the form. Then I said, okay, that's fine. So I went over with the form. I went back to Lagos because I was serving in Lagos. And I told my mom everything as usual because, you know, we speak every day. And she was like, okay. On Monday morning, so I went with someone, another friend I met in Lagos. And she was like, oh, she has a friend, Jumoke. Jumoke is doing a master's. And she was doing a master's in Ife at the time. That she's coming to Lagos. So on her way to Lagos, she just stop at Ibadan, pick up the form. Then I can, you know, give her one of the forms I have and all of that. It seemed like a perfect plan at the time. I told my mom and she was like, oh, perfect. On Monday morning, she called me. She was like, oh, Arisha, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm preparing to go to NYC camp. You know, we have parade to practice for. She was like, will NYC give you a job? I said, no. She now said, do you have a job? I said, no. She said, go to Ibadan. I was like, hey, but I already told you, Jumoke. She now said, your fate and Jumoke's fate is different. That's what she told me. And I was like, look, I don't have transport. She said, I'll send you money. And that's how I went to Ibadan. I grumbled, but I went to Ibadan. When I got to Ibadan, I tried calling the core member I saw at the time. Her number wasn't connecting. So imagine if it was Jumoke that went there, should have called. And, you know, she wouldn't be able to reach the person. So because I knew her facially, so I just went, I walked around and thankfully I found her. So that was how I was able to get the form. But I mean, if Jumoke had gone, you know, should have been like, oh, why am I tried reaching this person and the number didn't connect and, you know, she come back without the form. So that was how I got my form for Foreign Affairs. Then the day after I passed out, I just went straight to Ibadan, submitted, and that was it. Next thing, names were published for the aptitude test in Port Harcourt. And a friend that helped me check, he was like, oh, where am I? I saw your name, I saw your brother's name. You know, just tell your father, start calling people, call everybody, otherwise you will not get this job. I just told him, I said, I'm not going to call anybody, but I'll get the job. And that was it. So it was like, where am I? I said, let's watch and see.
So you had deep convictions on the
like I
inside
had
of
deep
you.
faith in God.
Faith in God.
Yeah, I just felt God would come true for me.
Okay,
You
so
know?
apart from having support systems going on there, I think if there's something we can draw or take from this is the God factor. So just in case you're a worried child who's listening, or even not a worried child, but you represent the worried child from wherever it is that you are all over the world, if you don't have anyone, you have God, all right? And then they will say that our help does not come, you know, from abroad, from connections and all of that, even though those could be useful. Majorly, it comes from God. One with God indeed is majority. I'm liking your story already, okay? So let's fast forward to the part where you got to school, you know, and now it's time for you to get into your career. I want us to talk about your career for a little bit.
Okay. So I wrote my WAEC, NECO, and it was at the time I was about to get into school. That was when they introduced the post-UME. So I think I'd applied for DELSU and Uniport. So at the time, my dad was like, oh, they also, they don't like also. So I didn't go for the post-UME. After registering and everything, I just didn't go. I was waiting for an admission in uni just to study law. That was my preferred choice. So while waiting, so someone just came and said, oh, instead of sitting at home, why not just do post-UME pre-degree in DELSU, just to while away the time instead of just being at home doing nothing. So I was like, okay, fine. Of course, I can't do music. I can't do finance. So French was like the best option for me. And I went in, I did the French language. I passed the post-UME, got into 100 level. I was already in 100 level. Then my admission came in just. But I was like, so, I had like two options. I was like, oh, no, I'll just continue with the French. So that was when I studied French language and, did my NYC and, got the job and everything. And thankfully, so while I was even looking for a job, I was just desperate to get something doing in Lagos. That was after my service. So I applied to, I can't even remember the company. I think I applied to be like a secretary or something. And I remember the man saying, you studied French. Why? I believe like I see a lot of potentials in you. I don't think you should, I'm willing to give you this job if you want it. You're beyond qualified, but I feel like something good is coming for you. I feel like maybe in about a month you could get a job and then you saw me you want to resign. He gave me his card. He was like, just go and think about it. If you really want it, I'll give it to you. But I feel like there's something coming for you. And lo and behold, in less than a month was when the job for the foreign affairs, that's like the aptitude test, I was shortlisted for the aptitude test. And of course, I didn't take that job. So, I waited, I trusted God. And it was just God.
You got the job.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the transition. So you didn't start big, as it were.
Not at all.
You started from the bottom, you climbed your way to the top. Where are you presently?
So presently, okay, now I'm back to the ministry. Right now I'm a level 12 officer.
That's Ministry of
Foreign Affairs in Abuja.
Okay.
Yeah, so
currently... You're a level 12 officer?
Yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good place to clap if you ask me.
I mean, it wasn't like it was all rosy joining the ministry. It starts
but
from
it was good.
Of course, it was good, but I mean, there are always challenges along the way.
Right. So what's the one perception you would like the world to have about worry and the worry child?
Oh, well, I think first for the worry child, I want them to know school is not a scam. Because lately, that's what you will hear all over the internet, like, oh, school is scam. Well, no way. Not at all. Don't ever, believe that's a lie. And wherever you are, you should also believe in the process. Wherever you find yourself, enjoy the process. Enjoy the process, trust in God and move higher.
Enjoy the process. Trust God.
Trust God. And, of course, you always have a dream like, okay, this is my target. I want to be somewhere. While you're working towards your target, enjoy the process. Don't feel like, oh, I'm being stagnated. Oh, look at my colleagues or my friends or they're already here and there. No, don't rush it. Always trust the process.
Always trust the process. So that's your message to the child, the worry child, the worry girl, the worry boy who's listening to you right now.
Worry girl, worry boy.
Warami Matu could make it. You too can. Let's celebrate that. Now you are on the international platform, global platform, right? What is one orientation or mindset or perception that you want the outside world to change about worry in Nigeria? Because they have a lot of perception. Oh, worry those people, they don't do anything. They're very aggressive. They're too volatile. They're blah, blah, blah. So personally for you, what's your word to them?
Oh, well, yeah, they have bad perceptions about worry in general and people from worry. But then when you check out in different sectors, people from worry are actually high flyers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're able to combine their street credibility and, their intellect. You don't have to look down on when you say, oh, this person is from worry. Don't feel like this person has nothing to offer. We actually have more than enough to offer the world.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then just the final one, because you're like an inspiration right now to a lot of people who are watching and who are viewing this. We're talking about the future of the worry child. We're talking about the worry child in general. And then those who are not even from worry, who are just viewing this, who feel like, oh, I've been left behind. I'm nothing. I don't have anything on the inside of me. As an inspirational voice, what do you have to tell that person who is watching?
Well, first of all, everyone has something inside of them. Regardless of, where you are now, there's always something. And, you have a place at the top. You have a space at the top. Don't just allow your background to, I mean, time is so short, so I really can't tell you my story. But, you know, I've gone through very serious challenges. But here I am today. I look nothing like where I'm coming from or what I've been through. So don't allow anything or anyone, you know, pull you down. Don't look down on yourself either. Don't be like, okay, like if there's an opportunity, don't feel like, oh no, it's not meant for me. It's meant for them. You know, they can do it better. No, you should, you know, make an fail. Failure is not the end of the world. When you fail, just know, okay, this is just one way I shouldn't do it. Yeah, you should make an attempt to do better. You know, do it in a different way and you will get there.
You'll get there. I think that's also a good place to clap people asking. That's inspirational, very motivational, and very inspiring, you know, for me who's just sitting here watching her talk about this. So like I said earlier, again, if Ogiame Atuwatse, who grew up here in Warri, Delta State, Nigeria, can become a diplomat, you know, work on international platforms, travel around the world, you too can. Who's listening? Don't let your background make your back fall on the ground. You got this. You can, you will, and you must. It's Warri to the world because we're global like that. Alrighty then. Thank you so much for staying with us and having a great time. Until next time, adios.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different. Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Comrade Ogiame Atuwatse III is my name, and I'm happy to be with you. Oh, it's been wonderful, quite educative, entertaining, and of course, very, very informative or informing. And let me begin by saying again, it's an honor to be part of this team, to be part of this great work. It's quite, you know, a good initiative, and it's been amazing, you know, being part of this whole exercise. I'm talking about the prestigious Ogiame Atuwatse III inter-collegiate quiz and debate competition. So it's been a wonderful time out here. I'm so grateful. Well, from my little observation and of course the assignment